Miller Park Zoo Education Manager Julia Benzel is here today with a special animal ambassador. So who is this?
This is Alex. He is one of our chinchillas. We have two of them. I found them snuggling up together this morning, so it was nice to see them bright and early together. Lucy's back at home, and then Alex came to come see you.
And chinchillas prefer to live either in groups or with other chinchillas, right?
They have been found in groups of hundreds. They're
Really?
gregarious, so they live in big groups of animals. That's the cutest herd of animals I've ever heard of.
Yeah,
actually.
I was gonna say, because so many animals do live in big groups, but usually you think of a pod of dolphins or a big herd of buffalo or something like that. I had no idea that tiny animals did that as well.
Yeah, so it is safer, and they are just social animals. They like to live together, groom one another, snuggle up together, because they're from some pretty cold places, so they need to stay warm.
And that fur helps keep them warm, right? What else does their fur do for them?
So they have really special fur. I do want you to feel it, just with the back of your hand.
Okay.
They have special fur that if we touch them with the front of our hand, they get really greasy. But if we touch them on the back, they still stay fluffy and
so soft.
Yeah. So that hair is special in a couple of ways. Because they're from the Andes Mountains, they need to stay warm. If you have your hair and you grab one strand of it, you'll notice that it comes from one follicle. So for us, one hair per follicle. For them, 60 hairs per follicle.
Oh my goodness. So that's why they're so densely thick.
Yes, they have that voluptuous hair that we're all craving, right?
Right.
Even on a humid day, we're looking good. So their first one, they're using that as an adaptation to stay warm. Their second one, they're using it as a defense. So do you want the adult version or do you want the kid version?
Probably the kid version, because it's 3 p.m.
Perfect. So when we think of chinchillas in the wild, they are chewing on some berries, maybe munching on some grass, and with their big ears, they hear something behind them. So they turn around, and with their big eyes, they see that it's a fox. And Alex knows that this fox would like to eat him. So he starts running as fast as he can, but are foxes fast? Absolutely they are.
Right.
So he starts jumping up the rocks, but can foxes jump?
Yes.
Absolutely. So he's getting away as fast as he can, but he gets to a point where there's a rock wall. He can't go through it, he can't go around it, he can't go over it. He feels scared.
Dead end, yeah.
So he turns around and he faces his rear towards the fox. And he allows the fox to bite onto his rear end. And then he wiggles himself away by losing all the hair on his hips. And then he grows it back later, and he's a safe chinchilla.
Wow, so ultimately it's gonna, kind of like how lizards let go of their tails, so then the predator is stuck with just the tail.
Yes.
So the predator has a mouthful of hair, and the chinchilla gets away.
Exactly. Have you ever had a mouthful of hair? Even
I
just
mean,
one hair.
your own hair.
Even just one, right?
Yeah.
So they're trying to get that hair out, and he's getting away very safely.
Of course, because who wants hair in your mouth?
Exactly.
That's amazing. And they're such unique creatures. Can you talk a little bit about what they eat? When are they active?
Sure. So you and I are diurnal, and owls are nocturnal, right? So awake at night versus awake at day.
Right.
These guys are crepuscular.
Crepuscular, what does that mean?
They're active at dawn and dusk. So these are a lot of your snakes, your rabbits, and then your chinchillas as well. It's the safest time when we think of animals in warm climates. It's the coolest time. But for them, it's just the safest time to be out and active.
I see.
They are also herbivores.
Okay.
And they're rodents. So rodents are a type of mammal that are gnawing mammals. So they have they have one set of teeth that are their incisors that never stop growing. So they have to chew on things to keep the length of their teeth down.
And so what kind of stuff, if they mostly are eating vegetables and stuff, do they gnaw on? Do they kind of gnaw on rocks and things like that to file their teeth, or is it just from their food sources?
So in the wild, it's going to be just from their food sources. A lot of the time they can eat woody plants, and that helps keep the length of their teeth down. We, of course, get them chinchilla toys, and they can chew on those, and they have flavors, and they're edible and super fun for them. But in the wild, they find that on their own.
And I know that there are chinchillas in zoos, and some people do try and keep chinchillas as pets, but they're not, even though they're fluffy and whatnot, they're not great pets, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So Alex was born in 2021, and in human care, they live to be 20 years old. So if you get your kiddo a chinchilla right now, they're going to go through grade school with them, they're going to go through high school with them, they are going to experience their first heartbreak with them, they're going to go to college with them, and you can't bring a chinchilla to college. So then ultimately, you as a parent just still have a chinchilla, and they're social. So you have to have at least 2 chinchillas, if not 3 or 4, because they like each other. They're not super excited to see you like your dog is.
I see. So they're not kind of going to form that human bond, but they do need other chinchillas to be happy and healthy.
Exactly.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. And then how many chinchillas, if say hypothetically you do have a couple of chinchillas, if you have chinchilla babies, how many babies are you going to end up with?
You can end up with 6 chinchilla babies. So then you have a lot of chinchillas at a time, and they're all hanging out together. So then you need a really big enclosure, unless your house is just going to be chinchilla house.
And I teased a little bit at the beginning where you can find them in the wild. And I know that the wild population isn't thriving, right? There aren't a ton anymore.
There are less than 10,000 of them because of their fur. They have really special fur that people love. It's really soft. They're hunted for that fur specifically. So they are pretty endangered. They are on that ICUN list as endangered. And at one point, it's argued that the pet trade saved them because they were being bred in human care versus being out in the wild.
Right. That makes sense. And then my last question for you is, let's see, I feel like we've hit pretty much, the water thing. So they don't drink water, right?
No, they don't need to. We give them water and they have it as an option, but they are eating a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, which is all very high in water. So if they weren't able to find it in the wild, they would be okay.
And I feel like there are a lot of other animals that are that way as well, right?
Absolutely. It's a great adaptation to have because sometimes freshwater isn't as accessible as we think it would be.
Right, and particularly animals that thrive in the desert or sort of can go those long periods without being able to find water or if it's not rainy or things like that.
Exactly.
Well, it seems like the chinchilla has a lot of interesting adaptations and is so soft. I know, back of my hand, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for bringing Alex and introducing us and for all of the information and for all the info about the events as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.